Hi. So we arrived at lesson 6. This lesson is related a lot to the previous lesson, and it is called Experimentation Platforms, Social Learning and Learning Curves. Like the previous lesson, it's a kind of big title where you can talk at least 10 lessons, not only one. But I'm going to select something for you and give some hopefully interesting homework or further avenues for you, not really for homework, but just for you to help to understand better. So let me start with this observation that I found recently on Twitter, I think. Experience is overrated. Some people say they have 20 years experience, when in reality they only have 1 year's experience repeated 20 times. Okay. That it's a lot about people having specialized somewhere in the school about something and then doing the same thing all their life. Alternatively, they have a much more interesting career where they learn whatever it takes to solve different problems. And then each year it's really a year of true experience. You can read the full article about that, it's very interesting on the link that I provide here. What does it mean for us? Well, we have to solve complex problems. Adaptation in these conditions obligatorily means you have to learn by doing it. Don't have a theory about it, you just launch yourself, organize your project, take the best method and the best people you can, and do the best out of that situation. An important issue with pioneering projects, and here we're talking a lot about pioneering projects, when it's about adaptation and creation of the new world of tomorrow, more sustainable, is that people come together in a project and don't manage to work together effectively. And then they wonder, some of them, why, or sometimes they don't even wonder, they just fight. Well, it's a matter of agreement on values, that are the rules on which you work, and on the knowledge that you have or not have together. You might remember that I said the same word may have different meanings in different disciplines. Well, that's an agreement on knowledge. If we agree on that definition of that word, then we agreed on that bit of knowledge. If not, not. And there are many words to agree on and concepts. So in this table you can see that you have actually 4 possible situations of agreement or not on values crossed to agreement on knowledge. And pioneering projects usually start with or as unstructured problems. The situation 1, not agreed on values and not agreed on knowledge yet. You just agree you have a common problem and go there, try to do something about it. You begin the process. But what you need to manage after a while is situation 4 of well-structured problems. It's only then where you can really find solutions. So you realize that in between situation 1 and situation 4 there is an entire process that takes time. And all this integration requires knowledge integration approaches. Before you reach those scenarios that we discussed about in the previous lesson, you need to develop some knowledge integration approaches and knowledge integration platforms that take all these things together. Really a lot. New ideas from people, new needs on the market, computer models, different projects with practices and lessons, new data and technology for acquiring data, new knowledge in different disciplines and so on. So you need to develop these methods. And that is the mistake that many people think or thought mistake that usually people do. They say, okay, you just go together and you do it. You have your own expertise, so why don't you manage to succeed? Well, because it's a process in itself to achieve this integration and to build these integration approaches and platforms. If you remember from the first lesson, I presented you this table with domains of interaction between physical and human systems, like natural systems and human systems. And you realize how complex the situation is. Now, if you look in the middle of the table I made red for you, the intersection between knowledge domain and the social domain is in the learning systems. The social evolution driven by knowledge, and the feedback of it, which is the fact that knowledge itself is a social process. So today we're trying to see if we have some ways of learning to advance and escape this trap of complexity and vicious circles.